super stoked to be back with another video. Today, I'm gonna be chatting to you about the Insta360 X4. This is just me throwing my opinion in the ring about recently working with the product to hopefully give you a better idea and some insight and to answer some of your questions and concerns that I noticed in the comments of the previous video. Really, the areas that I want to address with this video are the workflow, shooting with the product underwater, and lastly, just some tips and ideas around how we personally have been able to achieve the shots that we captured, that you saw at the start of this video, that you are seeing spliced throughout the video, and that you saw in that showcase video. I also should mention that yes, Insta360 did send us the X4s, and yes, we have been working with them in a sponsored manner. Today's video and this video, they're not paying me to make it, and I just wanted to share my opinion and thoughts on the product. They are my own, and my opinion on the product is that it's epic. I genuinely like this camera. I think it's an incredible product, and I personally think it's the best 360 action camera currently on the market. That's my opinion. Do with that what you will. Also, I wanted to mention that at the end of today's video, I'm gonna give away those presets to 5 of you guys who commented on our last video, the GoPro tips video. So yeah, huge shout out and thank you to those of you who got involved in that. Stick around to the end to see if you've won yourself some presets. Let's get stuck into it.
Maybe there's nothing more to get.
One thing that I should definitely say is that when it comes to workflow, yes, there are more steps involved. That's it. There's more steps involved. Why? Because quite simply, when you're filming with a sphere versus when you're filming with a rectangle, you have to make the decision as to what part of that sphere you want to show. Obviously, if you're uploading a VR video in 360, then you just upload that .360 video, but I haven't. In the video that I've created, I've uploaded a YouTube video, and most of the videos that you've watched reviews of this product have taken that workflow step, have taken the step in choosing which part of the 360 sphere they want to share and showcase in their video. With that comes an added step in post-production. To specifically speak on the way that I've done it in producing that travel film, I've taken the footage from the SD card out of the X4. I've put that SD card into my computer and I've saved all those clips, those .360 files, and then I've put those files into, or they're .insv files, I've put them into Insta360 Studio. I've created keyframes and chosen what part of the footage I want to use and creatively taken the time to render out each of my shots. And then I've uploaded them into my editing suite, and then I've edited our travel film. So that's the workflow. Yeah, it's a little bit convoluted. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, especially if you filmed multiple days on end, all in 360. From my opinion, you'll always get the best results by using or by exporting the footage in ProRes. The downside to that is that you have to have the workstation that's capable of processing .ProRes files. If you're new to editing, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Just export those files out in H.264, H.265, and then work with them that way. But if you are advanced with your editing and you really want to burrow down into your color grading and your post-production, then yeah, export ProRes files. They're huge. Create proxies in your editing suite and go about your workflow like that. That's what we've done to achieve the results that we've got. In terms of frame rates and frame sizes and maybe these other questions or concerns that you've got working with the product, essentially, we shot most of our showcase in 5.7K with the exception of a handful of shots in 8K. Now the 8K shots are very specific for where we could tell that the lighting environments were on point. Full sun, really nice high clear water clarity, avoiding cloudy, low light, dim environments, always selecting like 8K. That being said, with 8K, the limitation is that you're only capable, eligible, able to shoot in 30 frames a second. So as a director, someone that wanted to maybe slow down action footage, then if we were doing any action specific events, running, surfing, those types of things, I chose to shoot in 5.7K in 50 frames a second. One thing I think you have to understand when you're shooting underwater with a 360 camera is that you can't just stick on those like scratch-proof lens guards. You have to use the invisible dive case if you are going deeper than I'd say like 2 meters under the water. Like if you're actually free diving, if you're diving, definitely you have to get the invisible dive case. And the best practice for shooting with that, I'd also encourage those of you that are wanting to get underwater footage with their 360, with their X4, is you have to be conscious about the proximity your subject is away from the lens. Now you'll notice that like if you're holding this camera out really far in front, really far away from you, and you are not on either of those lenses' axis, does that make sense? If you're not directly in that point of axis, like if you're on the stitch line, then chances are your render won't look good. Chances are. So every time that I was shooting with the 360 camera underwater, obviously I'm putting the invisible dive case on, selecting dive case mode in the settings. From our experience with shooting with the 360 invisible dive case, the best results happen when the camera is within a meter of the subject. So whenever we're going close to a shark, it's like getting within the meter of it. Or whenever we're shooting a selfie shot, it's holding that lens within a meter or within arm's length of the subject. In that instance, we always could assure that we'd get crisp quality shots underwater. When you push the camera away, it also just is more challenging for the render. Like if you're sitting on the stitch line, the chances are that you would be blurry or you just wouldn't get those crisp shots. And that was just from our experience with working with the X3 dive case. We noticed that if you really extended the selfie stick out to like 1.5 meters, if you're pushing you're swimming and you're holding that camera out and you're on the stitch line there, you were blurry. So best practice, if you want to get amazing underwater 360 shots with that dive case, make sure that you're holding the camera within close proximity, or if your subject's super far, I've seen a really creative shot where you can use the 3-meter selfie stick and place the camera close to the subject. Let's say it's a shark. The shark will be nice and clear and you might be this blurry bubble in the background. We can still work out what's going on within the render, within the export, within the reframe, but you won't be crystal clear because you're just too far away from the lens. In terms of white balance, in terms of all these nitty-gritty settings, we would just shoot with the cameras auto, and mostly we're shooting 5.7K in 25 or 50 frames a second. Some of our best shots came from mounting, from using something like this Tilta 360 car mount, Insta360 car mount, and placing that in positions on the vehicle. We just experimented with it. I think my favorite one was when it was mounted on the side of the vehicle and the camera was like coming down, because it just made me question like, where is the camera and how were we able to get that shot? So something I'd encourage you to explore if you are creating travel content with your 360 camera is to think about creatively mounting the camera. You know, you could use a bite mount, you could use just a simple like suction cap mount, putting it on the windscreen of your car, you could put it on the side of your car. You know, even with our Starlapses and things, it was just mounting using a tripod and just letting the camera do all the heavy lifting. That's probably like, that's where I think we got like some of the best results, and where I've always got great results is like not throwing the lens around too much and just letting this notion of filming with a sphere be the hero. Overall, I think working with X4, it's been such a seamless product. The battery life has been good. We had 512 gigabyte SD cards in the cameras. So on a 4-day shoot, we didn't even chew up all of those, like that SD card space. Mounting creativity, definitely like one of the major key factors to getting cool shots. Thanks to those of you that dropped comments on our latest GoPro video as well. For those of you that did, I'm just gonna do like a random scroll here and give away 5 presets as I mentioned in the video. To claim your prize, all you have to do is drop me a DM on Instagram at JakeRichTravels and I will send you a download link to the product. All right, here we go. First one, random scroll. Mohammed Zakaria, watching from Qatar. Shout out to Mohammed. Ride with G, at Ride with G, watching from the Philippines. Prabin Vlogs 433, love from Nepal. Shout out to Prabin Vlogs. At John_Dids from the UK. Thank you for dropping a comment on our latest video. Here we go, just got home after a day's work and saw that there's another new video online. I'm watching from the Netherlands, keep up the great work. Albert-Jankoot 2388. Thank you for sharing the stoke, my friend. All right, let's do one more because You guys are legends. Bia Galetti, you use Brazilian funk in your video. Shout out to Bia Galetti. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. JR. Peace.